you know, you have to think about all these things. But I mean, I do think since Trump got elected, conspiracy theorists have been demonized. And nobody talks about that.
Right. There's a little bit. Well, it was always going on. It was even before that they were being demonized. But yeah, for sure.
Everybody's worried about the other groups, which is fair. Yeah. I get that. There's the people in the cages, no good. I'm not for any of that.
People in the cage?
Well, the kids in the cages is not good.
What do you mean?
The family separation at the border. All that. There's real stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that people think that conspiracy theories got Trump elected. So now it's like cool to hate conspiracy theorists. Or people that are like, let's take another look at this.
There's so many factors that got Trump elected.
Right.
I mean, it's a perfect storm of people getting fed up with political correctness.
Yeah.
Someone coming along that's not a politician.
Yeah.
You know, the system is so rigged that after a while, you're just like, Jesus Christ, how many more of these fake puppets are we going to put in office?
I say this to comics. I'm like, everybody's done a show where everybody goes out and bombs with their material. And then one guy gets up and just goes, fuck this, and screams and yells and destroys. Yeah. Because that's what the room wanted the whole night. They wanted somebody to come up and just realize how fucked everything was and how nobody was having a good time. And that's kind of what Trump was. Yeah. Trump was the guy that came out and just riffed.
Yeah.
He went out there with no material. He just went out there and riffed. And he went, when I heard, and I'm sure you've seen this speech where he talks about Ben Carson going after his mother with a hammer and trying to stab his friend. This was one of the funniest things. He was speaking and he was giving a stump speech. I don't know where it was. I think he wasn't in Iowa, but he was referencing Iowa. And he's talking about Ben Carson's book and that Ben Carson had admitted to going after his mother with a hammer and trying to stab his friend with a knife. I mean, these are and Trump is talking about it. Me and my friend were driving out of New York City. We were laughing so hard. I said, he's going to win. I said, I'll tell you why he's going to win. I cannot stop watching this. I can't. I am so fixated by the idea that there's a guy like this on the national stage and he's saying whatever he wants. There was something intoxicating about that. And a lot of the things he was saying were horrible, but he was saying them. And then on the other side, you had Hillary Clinton, who was just a scripted, careful person. And I'm like, it's just boring. Yeah. So to me, I'm like, sometimes the entertaining person wins because you can't take your eyes off them.
Well, in this case, for sure. I mean, in that it was a perfect, polar opposite between him and her.
Yeah.
No experience versus vast amounts of experience.
Right.
No real experience in the real world versus vast amount of experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot going on between the two of them. It's a bad way to choose how the world runs.
Yes,
it really is.
It's very bad to look at candidates and go, who's the most entertaining?
Yeah, well, it's also a bad idea to have one person, right? It's a bad idea to have this same system that was in place back when there was fucking, 1,000 people here.
But I think we really don't. Like, we have one person that seems like we have one figurehead. But we have kind of this permanent political class of people, a nexus of powerful institutions where you have career politicians, career diplomats, career military service people that kind of don't leave. So I think that's one of the reasons that we haven't changed the system is because one person can't ever do that much. Even though Trump is wild and crazy and he's done a lot of bad things, I don't think he would be allowed to deviate from many of the policies like that his predecessors had kind of established. I think that like the American government, and that's why the term like the deep state, which a lot of people ridicule, it's an undeniably true thing. I mean, our policies are not just one guy gets into office and he goes, here's how it is.
Right.
I mean, it's the result of a lot of, private corporations lobbying, forming an agenda in a non-democratic way. They're not accountable. And a lot of these, people that work at the CIA or the FBI or the NSA, a lot of them are appointed. They're not elected.
Right.
We have no oversight. We have, I think it's 22 intelligence agencies now.
It's really that many?
I mean, it's something absurd.
How many could you name?
FBI, CIA, NSA, probably DEA.
Is DEA an intelligence agency?
I wouldn't say it's an intelligence agency. They probably have
enforcement,
intelligence capabilities, I would imagine.
FBI, CIA, NSA,
There's one in the DIA, Directorate of Intelligence.
Oh.
The Pentagon. I mean, I don't know if that's an entire agency, but I think I think it has the capabilities. But we have all of these different. I don't know if it's 22, but it's a lot.
And they're all competing with each other.
They're all competing because they all want money. They all want a budget. Right. They all want, and that's the thing. People talk about the deep state. It's like,
look at them all.
Yeah, look at these guys. Here they are.
Jesus.
Here are all the people that are.
You know what? When gets me excited?
Yeah.
The fucking space troops. Now we have space troops.
Force. That's going to be good. And why not? Why not a space force?
Well, eventually, right? Eventually, you're going to have it.
Oh, yeah.
So why not have it now?
I don't know what the National Geospatial Intelligence thing does. Whoa. They can't be any more relevant than Space Force.
Click on that one. National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
They can't be any less important than the Space Force.
What? Who the fuck knows? How many people are working there? Employees, 16,000.
16,000.
Look at their motto. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. Know Earth, show the way, understand the world. What?
That's like
founded in '96.
Yeah.
Clinton probably did it. It's probably where he keeps his chicks.
I mean, this is what I mean. Like, what the hell are these people doing?
And what is it? 16,000 employees with their motto: know the Earth, show the way, understand the world.
That sounds like on a yoga studios.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's absurd. But they get billions of dollars to do whatever. Yeah. Listen.
Put that back up there with the description. Look at what it says there. It's under the United States Department of Defense, an intelligence agency of the United States intelligence community with the primary mission of collecting, analyzing, and distributing geospatial intelligence in support of national security.
Which is what?
What does that mean?
What the hell is geospatial intelligence? I mean, this is what I mean. This is insane. And if you ask a question, if you go, well, what do these guys do? People yell at you.
Yeah.
And they start calling. You're a conspiracy theorist.
And you don't know this?
I just want to know what geospatial intelligence is.
Right.
It's probably something simple, and now I'm going to look like an idiot.
It says it's intelligence about the human activity on Earth derived from the exploitation and analysis of imagery and geospatial information that describes, assesses, and visually depicts physical features and geographically referenced activities on the Earth.
I mean, this is...
I think that's how we would know, like, that North Korea has a bomb site.
Is it satellites?
Probably.
Satellite imagery?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess. Well, there's probably a satellite agency, too.
I think we've uncovered a scam. I think we've uncovered a pretend agency that nobody... There's a guy right now panicked in the geospatial...
16,000 other employees going, shit, we're going to have to find a real job. We've been studying shipping docks from space.
Yeah, we just got outed. Yeah, what are they... Yeah, I mean, it's just... We just got outed on Rogan as completely...
Yeah, come on.
She looks busy.
That girl's not really there. That is an actress. 100% that's an actress.
But this is what I mean. If you look into this stuff, it starts to get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people that are doing things we have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I just did a private gig at the Bethesda Country Club in Maryland. Okay? It's, I'm still doing private gigs, sadly. But you gotta, it is.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I go to the Bethesda Country Club, Maryland. It's the entire 10 counties around Washington, D.C. are the wealthiest counties in the world. I mean, in our country. And it's not because they're selling crab cakes. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all defense industry, Raytheon, DynCorp, things you've never heard of. And it was a good gig. They were funny. I got up and I was like, are we carving up Venezuela? They all laughed. They're all clapping. They're into it. They liked it. Some people get mad. I said last week I did a fundraiser for human trafficking victims. This week I'm with the traffickers. You guys are a lot more fun. And they're clapping. They love it. They're leaning in to being.
Well, that's good.
They're leaning in. They're morally compromised.
Well, they're also hired a comedian to fuck with them.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, they expected it. It's not like it came out of nowhere.
Well, it's like, so that's the thing. It's like Trump bad. But I don't know what the geospatial people are up to. I don't have to. I don't want to throw my hat in with geospatial intelligence.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe we need it. But listen, again, 2 stand-up comedians talking about what the world needs.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's fucking terrible.
It's not great.
I've been trying to stress this more than ever because the fact that I have a microphone and people are listening. Don't fucking pay attention to me. Okay, I'm not right.
Well, the best thing is, listen. You don't know. You might be right.
I might be right, but I'm definitely not an expert.
The best thing is if you go on Twitter and a comedian will tweet something really, it's like we're living in fascism, and they get like 400,000 likes. And then the next tweet, have you ever seen this? They go, and while you guys are here, check out my web series. And you go, are we living in if we're living in fascism,
you can't have a web series.
You can't have a web series. And do I have the time to luxuriate in your web series? Or should I start arming myself to overthrow the government? What should I look at my phone? I'm like, which way should I go?
Yeah.
But that's all they do. They go, by the way, while you're here, I have a Patreon. We're doing a project. I'd like you to throw a few bucks there, but we're living in fascism, and